So this episode is with an artist whose work is in the Smithsonian. His name is Scott, and his info is going to be at the bottom for you. Turns out that we were only going to do the one-parter thing, the one episode, but it was he just offers up so many resources and so much information that I really wanted to include all of it. Oh, and then there's a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway at the end. Yeah, so, yay.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Basically, can you explain to me what your inspiration was? We're going to start there because that's how I found you.
Okay.
And then we'll do a whole thing, but please share that with the audience.
So the concept is we're surrounded by a lot of negativity. Advertising is a great example of that, right? Advertising plays on this notion of saying, you smell, so buy deodorant. But it starts with, it has to tell you, you smell first. And then by deodorant,
you're the problem.
You're the problem. But it's always alienation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not, who you are right now isn't good enough, right? So that's advertising, right? In all of that visual noise are street signs, right? Now street signs have to kind of cut through all of this chatter because they got to tell you important stuff. So it's this super refined, super evolved system of communication. Kind of from that came this idea of, if a sign says no left turn, right? Your brain has to first process what's a left turn. So whenever, like, the universe doesn't get the no in front of it, right? Because don't think of pink elephants, right?
And all you think about
is pink elephants, right? No left turn is this one little wedge of things telling you not to do, but then there's this whole infinity of things you could do and not be turning left.
Right.
So what would a sign look like that told you what to do rather than what not to do? That's where I started, was with sticker art. And so I would put stickers on signs, and at a certain point, I would put like my cat's head on the crosswalk guy, right?
You were that guy.
I was that guy. So I would always mock him up first, and so I mocked it up, and I was like, I'll never get down there to do that. And I was like, what if I just made a sign with my characters on it? And that's when I started modifying signs so I would do stickers of signs rather than stickers on signs. So that was a big breakthrough.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what if I figured out how to make the signs? And so I made one that said relax. So it was a yellow diamond that said relax, and I put it up at 4th and Beaudry. I just put the sign up, and I was like, with all of this concept of a positive thing, relax. Instead of no left turn, like what's something that everybody could be doing or should be doing. So we put it up at like 3 a.m. I came back at rush hour the next day and took time lapses of it and stuff like that. But you don't see people reacting to it because it's in a place where people don't walk. It's all people in cars at that point. But people were posting about it. And it was up for about 6 months.
And people just left it.
Yeah, and who knows who took it down, right? I don't know if the city took it down or if somebody who wanted it took it down. There's such a rush. I was like, okay, this is something, and I believe in it, right? It's a different thing when I'm doing my cat on a crosswalk thing. It's more like, that's funny, that's cute. This is like something I believe in.
Well, it stopped me. I was like, there was something about it that way.
Well, subconscious.
So it's totally plays in the subconscious. It really does. Yeah. And it was the kind of thing where I wanted all of them, and I'm like, who is this guy? I gotta know who this guy is.
That's awesome.
So you actually come from a engineering background, which is interesting to me. I'm a journalism major, so I'm one of those too. Like, I didn't come at it from art school.
Sure.
It really came from a different.
I dropped out of art school.
Oh, you did?
Because I couldn't draw very well. Oh my God, she's so good. I'm like, no, I better come up with something else.
Right.
And I studied engineering for a while because I was really good at math and science. But my degree is actually in linguistics.
It seems to be the common denominator with artists.
Right.
It's not a straight road. You're doing a lot of, and then you're influenced or you're inspired, and it's not a.
That's also what makes you unique, right? Is that you've got this weird combination of, journalism and color. Like that.
And symbolism, and you're like, wait a minute, how's this? And it ends up.
And you're like, nobody else is doing that. So to me, the engineering, the linguistics, these things come together in these bizarre ways.
And for you, it was language, right?
Oh, it's always language.
And then I guess constructing. Do you make the signs yourself?
It's that skill set, that I've got the ability to construct things. But also, so I do large scale work. I build really large sculptures and really large structures. But when you do that, you need a lot of permits and insurance, all the liability, right? The thing about the street signs is I build them to DOT spec. So the Department of Transportation already has, if I follow those guidelines, the city has insurance for it already. They don't have to do any engineering on it.
That's really helpful for artists to really think about when they're creating.
Those parameters really can allow for exploration, If you can say, these are the rules. They've given me these rules, and it's like, hey, they've got these rules. I can fit right into those rules and play by those exact games.
There is a lesson that there's a little bit of strategy.
Oh, yeah.
If you are going to get people, if people are going to see your work, there's a little bit, there has to be,
right.
You know? I mean, there's so many artists. And
it's a project, so it's not just, those aren't just constraints of, you know, me getting my signs in. Getting the signs in isn't the artwork. The artwork is all of it. Yeah. And that there are hundreds of signs all over the country. And seeing those hundreds of signs all over the country as the artwork, rather than the individual signs as the artwork, changes the whole thing of, like, learning how to use the brush isn't the putting the vinyl on the metal. It's dealing with the arts councils. Yeah. It's dealing with the municipalities.
You've got another skill set now.
Oh my God! I have an elected position within LA city government.
Oh, nice.
So
I didn't know that's awesome.
I love, you know, and because I want to make the world a better place, right? Yeah. Like, and the big changeover is recognizing, you know, construction versus destruction, and shaking your fist and saying, you know, I hate this thing. The work I produce is going to be constructive. Instead of talking about a world that I don't want to have happen, I have to talk about a world that I do want to have happen.
It kind of goes back to the power in language and linguistics, right?
Oh yeah.
It's the repeating of that.
Visualizing. Just visualize over and over again. I don't want to go to Cleveland. I don't want to go to Cleveland. But you have to at some point figure out, I want to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I have to say I want to go to...
what you want, not what you...
Because not going to Cleveland could be anywhere. You point the plane at this beacon that's making this noise, and you point your plane at it, and you can get there. The problem is, you can never use it to not go someplace, because you just know you're not pointed at it. Right? Like, so it doesn't help. You can always use a beacon to get to where you're going, but you can't use a beacon to, like, not go where you don't want to go.
The idea is to make the beacon the one that
the positive.
The positive, as opposed to, you know, emphasizing, and then it becomes this tape about the negative and becoming that,
Like,
so do you want to spin this person?
No. You know, I wake up and I'm mad at stuff, you know?
Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Right, yeah.
So we are always, and by virtue of that, we're always negotiating.
Yeah.
Like, some people think, oh, I'm so spiritual, and I'm so, and then they're upset when they get upset. And I'm like, no, we're human. That's part of the deal. Yeah. You're not expected to, like, levitate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's not, that wouldn't be human anymore.
Exactly. But it's the balance.
Yeah.
You know?
What are these, like, major milestones in the life of the street signs? Major milestone number one in the life of the street signs was City of Glendale. I applied, and they gave me money to put 20 pieces in arts throughout City of Glendale. Yeah. That was the first time a city paid me to put them up, and also meant that they were legal, and, like,
yes, and they get to stay up.
They got to stay up, and they, you know, that's a major breakthrough, and that was, you know, I just had applied to a bunch of stuff, and they said yes. But once that happened, now I had the legitimacy and the photographs and the documentation to show, now you've got that in your arsenal. And you're like, I can do city council meetings. Like, I can show that I can do, you know, so that was a huge breakthrough from that standpoint. So I don't know if you know the relationship to Burning Man. So I'm a Burning Man artist. As part of Burning Man, I had 3 of my pieces went into the Art of Burning Man show at the Smithsonian. It's also problematic, like, what do you do after? You know, it's like, you gotta keep yourself, like, don't get your head too into it.
Sign on the moon.
Exactly,
yeah. You know, right? I don't know.
Next year I gotta do something. So those were kind of 2 big moments in the life of the sciences. And now people are reaching out to me, so I'm getting to install in places. There's some merchandising opportunities. Yeah. The awesome part is, the thing it does is empathy and self-connectedness.
I believe it's all the things you believe in. Isn't that the way to go?
Well, as an only child, like, I had to perform, right? And I was always felt like I was on stage. And the concept was perform authentically. Mm-hmm. And so,
did you feel like you were being inauthentic?
Well, I don't know.
Or is it just what we do?
Or like, do it to, like, just get the attention, right? Like, just do, you know, like, am I doing it, you know, am I doing it to be who you want me to be? Oh, yeah. So I get that attention. Right. So, like, authentic performance was like, it's really tricky, right? So authentic performance was be truly me, and then see how people react to that.
And for our audience, what happens then? Magic.
It's magic. Well, then this is what happens. This is authentic performance.
That's it. But when you really have something to say,
Yeah.
I think it pushes your work into a different,
and it's you saying,
different
it's
place,
you saying,
and it's authentically
you saying,
coming
yes.
from you.
Yeah. So
That's a
authentic
great,
performance.
So important for
Yeah,
people to hear.
so it's successful, and it's authentic performance.
Yeah.
So like, there's no like everything about it. It's like that's just great.
So great.
Yeah.
And he's on our show. No, it's not.